Yo, it's Mickey Woods Jr., leader of the school, chief of the scribes, commander of the vibes, president of the niggas with two jobs, keeper of the ghost of Pimp C, and you're now tuned in to Team Rich TV.
Yo, what's up? This is Myz Tam with Team Rich TV, and I'm here with Mickey Woods. Tell us, who is Mickey Woods?
Mickey Woods, I would say, is just a kid that grew up in PA, heavily influenced by the things like happening around him. Just like really introspective, detailed, especially like just when it comes to music. But I guess that's a good enough answer.
So I listened to a couple of your tracks.
Okay.
Would you define yourself as like a conscious rapper?
I don't know. I would say conscious just because I am aware of the stuff that's going on around me. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like conscious had, like, when people say a conscious rapper, it has kind of like a corny annotation to it. And I don't want to be put in that box, so I'm going to say no.
Well, when I think of it, I think of just somebody in the loop that knows what's going on and not
Right.
just singing just to rhyme or, just match the beat and have swag.
Yeah.
But
Well, in
your
that case,
content,
yeah.
you have great content.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love it. So tell me, who's your biggest inspiration?
Inspiration, I say my dad. You mean musically or just like anybody?
Period.
I say my dad first off because I know a lot of people like that I grew up with didn't have their dad in their life, and I feel like I was one of the few that actually was able to look at him and like learn, and actually have conversations with him about like real shit that happens in life. You know what I'm saying? So I say first he's my biggest inspiration before anybody. Musically, definitely I gotta say Pimp C. Just from not even from a rapping standpoint though, just like from just speaking out on like what he really believed, and behind the boards, like getting behind the boards and being a real producer and like really producing tracks and producing even the rappers that was on the track. So as far as like how detailed he was and specific he was about music, he's definitely one of my inspirations. Another one I would say is Frank Ocean, Crit, of course, Andre 3000. I get that a lot, just people saying that I sound like Andre 3000. And I get kind of tired of it, but at the same time, like, how can you get tired of somebody saying you sound like...
Not a bad compliment.
Yeah, it's a legend, most def. So, yeah, I think those people, I say.
You're from Port Arthur, right?
Port Arthur, yes, ma'am.
So do you think is Pimp C your inspiration because he's from there, or would he be your inspiration regardless?
Well, I'm more aware of him because I am from Port Arthur. I feel like I would have found out about Pimp C like if I wasn't from Port Arthur, but I don't know how much I would have been into it. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like another reason why he's one of my inspirations is because he is from Port Arthur, and he allows me to see that somebody from Port Arthur can make it in the music industry or just make it in music, period. You know what I'm saying? So that's somebody that it's tangible. You know what I'm saying? He came from Port Arthur. Like he was in the same areas as I was in. He actually came to my middle school one time because I went to school with his son, Chad Butler Jr. So when the day he got out, like he came to the middle school and it was like a big thing. And at that time, I didn't really know who Pimp C was. I just thought like, oh, okay, his dad must be somebody famous. But yeah, I don't think he would have as much as an impact on my life and on my music if he wasn't from Port Arthur, because that's a big reason why I look up to him.
Are you active in the community and going around to the schools as well?
I wouldn't say that I am yet, just because I just been trying to find my own footing. I don't feel like I have. If I go back to a school, I want to have something to show. I want to have like accolades, not even accolades. I just want to be able to show them that, okay, I made it out, and I don't think I made it out yet.
Okay. Speaking of Pimp C,
Okay.
and you being from Port Arthur, tell me how you feel about Bun B right now.
I can only say that if I was in Bun's position, I probably would do things a little bit differently. Just like I said, I want to be able to go back to the same places that I grew up in, and like I said, like how I saw Pimp come to the school. Like I've never seen Bun B in Port Arthur at all. Like my whole life, I've never seen Bun B in Port Arthur. Not to say that he didn't come back and give, because I might have just not been around, but it does say something that I've been living in Port Arthur my whole life, and I've never seen Bun B actually in the city. So I would only say that I would be here. Like I make sure like little kids would have something to look up and say like, hey, I just seen this dude the other day and he on TV, like he's speaking about politics and he on these records with these big musicians in the world. So I would only say that I would probably just try to come back and do things more.
Okay, what projects are you working on right now?
Right now, to be honest, I think artists and musicians are always working on projects, but I'm not at the point right now so I'm saying like, hey, this shit is going on an album, or like we actively trying to put together an album. Right now, I think what's more important is what I've been doing like this year. I put out 2 singles already. I just been trying to gain momentum to an album. So when I drop an album, people can be like, oh, okay, he was doing this all year, and now he finally dropped the album and have people waiting for it. I don't know if that makes sense, but right now I've just been trying to gain footing and gain momentum up until the point to where when I drop an album, people will be ready for it, people will be excited about it.
So do you have a team behind you right now?
Yeah, most definitely. And they probably prefer like to stay quiet, but I'll just say it right now. Taryn Perron, I know she knows a lot of people out in Houston. She's actually from Port Arthur too. And Torn Vision Records, I've been kind of partnering with them on like the things that I put out, and basically they're like my foundation. Like they help me with studio time, we have meetings at Torn's house just about marketing and how we're going to get things done, you know what I'm saying? And I've never had that in my career up until the last few months, and I feel I've already seen like the impact it's had on me. I've already been able to gain more traction online, been able to do things in a more solid way instead of just having to go to the studio and then drop the track that day. It's kind of just been more planning, more strategy, things that have just helped me in the long run.
Is she like, is that like your manager?
No, not a manager or anything like that.
Do you have one?
No, I don't have a manager.
Are you looking for one?
Nah,
no.
I don't think so. I don't think I need a manager right now. I need people who around me that can help me. I guess that is what a manager is. That can help me get a vision out, but it's just not. We hadn't set that in stone. Like, okay, you're my manager. You know what I'm saying? It's just been kind of people doing things off of the love they have for me and off of the love they have for my music.
Hey, have you done any collabs with anyone?
Yeah, just recently, me and GP got in the studio. GP 045. We did a song. It hadn't dropped yet. I don't think it would be like any names that y'all would know. De Niro Sinatra, I've done a few tracks with him. He's from Louisiana, but he lives in Beaumont right now. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I'm not really big on like collabs unless I feel like it's something, unless I feel like I know you personally and like we can really come in and make a live ass track together, or it's gonna be something that can benefit both of us.
Okay. So in doing that, y'all kind of just get in the studio together, or do y'all have to pay one another? Like if you're featured on theirs or that feature, you know?
Now, if speaking for me personally, if I do a feature like speaking like right now, I'm not gonna ask you for no money because, like I said, if I'm working on music with you, I really fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna ask you to pay me a certain amount. Now, like for people that I don't know, just randomly come and ask me for a feature. It depends. If I need the money at the time, I'm definitely gonna do the feature. If I like the song, you know what I'm saying, and I am gonna charge you for it. But regardless. If it's somebody that I know that I grew up with, it's just gonna be us doing it off the love.
What if it's somebody that's already popping? Would you jump on that joint for free?
For free? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It depends on who it is though, and it really depends on if I like the song. Like I'm not gonna just go do no BS song, you know.
Okay. Do you do any live performances?
Yeah, I haven't done any recently, like speaking of this year, but I've had a lot of them like this past year. We kind of just actually stopped doing live performances, but I am planning something in July, so everybody that's following me, like it's gonna be something, so definitely like tune in. I'll make sure I post on like all social media and everything, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
So what's your stage presence like?
You asking me?
Yes.
I feel like that's a better question for people who actually came and seen me at a show.
Like, do you have to get into like character? Like, are you an artist all the time, or you just turn it on and off?
Definitely not an artist all the time. Well, I am, but I be doing weird shit, y'all. Like if y'all ever just see me on a regular day basis, y'all would think I was really weird. But yeah, I kind of do have to get into like the mode. I definitely pray like before I go on, and then I just take a moment to really channel the energy that I want to bring out into the stage before I go on. So I wouldn't say that I'm an artist all the time because I'm not always feeling like going on the stage and like performing in front of people. Like that's just on as I can be. But when I do have a performance, I make sure like every single day leading up to it, I'm practicing. Like I'm figuring out how I want to talk to people, what I want people to leave the performance with about me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very like specific and just detailed about how I want my shows to be. Yeah, I don't even know what I was trying to say there.
So what are your studio sessions like?
Basically, when I do get in the studio, because a lot of my time is spent like creating songs. So when I get to the studio, like I already know exactly how I want it to be. So I would say that they're fast, unless I just don't know what I want to do that day. But I don't really like a lot of people in my studio sessions. If I invite people to the studio, like they're bringing something. Like I'm gonna be asking them like, okay, what you feel about this? Or it's people that I value their opinions. So I would say that they're just like hella vibes. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? I go off for energy a lot. So what I'm feeling, that's just kind of how the song is gonna come out.
So let's talk a little bit about your sound. Do you, because when I was listening to your tracks, like I could literally like picture like the story going on
Okay,
in my mind.
That's kind of
So
cool.
like, are you about the sound, the actual sound, or are you just about getting the message out and telling the story?
It depends. Like some tracks I really want to be able to do like what you said. I want people when they're listening like to be able to picture this shit. Like that's why it's as detailed as it is, because I want people to be able to on their way home like drive, and I want people to be able to like to have a music video going in their head already like to it. What was the question again, Ruby? Repeat it for me.
Your sound. Would just describe your sound for me.
Definitely southern, lyric driven, melody driven at the same time. Yeah, I think that's it. I kind of categorize it as like modern day blues, even though it's like super hip hop. But I feel like the melodies are what carry my songs a lot, and that's what people kind of gravitate to. At least that's what they tell me. So I feel like it's kind of like modern day blues.
How important is originality to you?
It's the most important thing. I feel like that's why I take so long like writing songs and carefully like crafting songs, because I want it to be. When you hear it, I want the sound to be distinctive to me. Like, so when you hear it, you be like, oh my God, this that Mickey, this shit knock, just like my new single go. So I want people to know like this Mickey shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want it to be distinctive to me. So.
Do you think the CDs are dead?
CDs dead. Low key, yeah, bro. Them hoes is kind of dead. I feel like it is a certain group of people that want something tangible like that, just like vinyl. I don't think vinyl will ever die, but low key is dead because like the usual casual consumer, they're not trying to go buy no CD from the store. Like they trying to listen to that shit as soon as it drop. They want to be able to play it wherever they can, in the gym, on the way to school. Like they don't want to have to be in the car or have a CD player. Like when the last time you seen somebody have a CD player and be playing joints in the CD player? I think that kind of answered the question.
Yeah. So do you think music, is it making you money or costing you money at this point?
Costing me most definitely. Like I ain't making no money, y'all. Right? Y'all be seeing them rappers saying they making all this money. They probably is, but Mickey Woods is not right now. Not even close.
It's all about the passion right now, right? How did you get into making music?
I'd say just like poetry, writing. I always been real big at like writing. Even like when I was smaller, like I'd be in essay contests and stuff like that. I win the little contests in the school. for essay writing, or I just randomly write poetry in the summertime when like it's nothing else to do. So I think just literature period. I always paid attention to like how words impact it. So yeah.
What are your career goals at this point?
To start making money off of music, most def. And just to be able to, my goals are really just to be able to provide for my family. Like, of course, like everybody wants like a cool car. Everybody want a big ass house. But I really just want to be able to get my pops out the refinery, one.
He sound like he in a great place.
I mean, financially, yeah, but it's a lot of shit. He be telling me the stories. Like, it's a lot of shit he got to go through to, like, stay at the refinery. So, yeah, get my pops out the refinery, be able, like, for my family to be able to do what they want to do comfortably and not have to worry about money and not have to worry about financial means to do anything. So, yeah, that's my biggest goal.
And where can people contact you?
Where you can contact me if you like sending me beats or something through Gmail, MickeyWoodsMusic@gmail. Any collab like opportunities on that Gmail. You can definitely follow me everywhere at Mickey Woods Jr. That's on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all of that. Mickey Woods Jr. MickeyWoodsJr. Yeah, that's it.
Any last words?
Be something. And that's it.
This is Myz Tam.
And this is Mickey Woods Jr.
And you've been watching Team Rich TV.
Nigga.